नमस्ते और आप सभी का स्वागत है एएमए के 93rd एपिसोड में 93वें एपिसोड में वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू टू दिस 93rd एपिसोड ऑफ द एएमए. You can ask questions in both हिंदी and इंग्लिश थ्रू सुपर चैट एंड व्हाट्सएप. आप सभी हिंदी और अंग्रेजी दोनों में प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं. सुपर चैट से भी पूछ सकते हैं और व्हाट्सएप से भी पूछ सकते हैं. तो आइए, let's go on this journey today. Ritesh Kumar. Hi Sanjay ji, pranam. Ex-Muslim movement is a way to mint money from Hindus like Sufis were and are doing from Hindus. No, I don't agree with this. I'll give you the reason why I don't agree with this is because Sufis, they only entice you. They never look critically or they never criticize any practice of Islam. They only embellish their practices, the Sufi practices, which are sanctified now by this Barelvi movement, and they only call Hindus with promises of fake miracles. And Hindus get enticed and go there and spend their time and money and get nothing in return. So, the ex Muslim movement, especially the Indian part of it, I find quite wholesome. They are very critical of Islam. They look at it in depth. And as far as going there and watching them is concerned, it is purely voluntary. As far as donating to them is even more voluntary. So I don't think there is a comparison. Next. Namaste, sir. Don't you think USA committed a blunder by recognizing PRC government in China? That too was done under Democratic Party of the USA. No, it was done by Nixon. He was a Republican. It was a mistake, no doubt. It was a mistake. Then, at that point of time, they thought that Russia is going to, the USSR was going to be their rival forever. So they wanted to surround Russia from one side. But it has come to bite them. Many times you cannot look 50 years in advance. This was done in 1972. And today we are in 2022. So I think even for the most worthy of statesmen, it is difficult to visualize things 50 years in advance. Mahesh Chaudhary, namaste. Can we have Praveen Mohan on JD? He has done very good work on decoding ancient temples and structures. Well, I've tried to find his contact, but I haven't succeeded. So as soon as I have his contact, I'll definitely approach him. If anyone of you can help with his contact, that would be wonderful. Amit Pawar 791, please comment on the filthy and untransparent FSI policy adopted in Mumbai by BMC. Why didn't any court strike it away despite it blatantly against average citizen? Now this situation can be improved. Well, now we have a government that is supposedly pro-public. So I guess one could petition this government, and if the petition doesn't succeed, then one could definitely approach the courts. Next, Anand Rajappan. What is stopping Bharat in implementing laws that curtail hard mistakes by introducing physical punishment rather than jails? Like tattoo the rapist culprits with several by sterilizing them and cutting fingers rather than wasting resources in jail. And who cheats women to be punished severely like this? Will it not be a deterrent to crimes? These are all medieval punishments, Anandji. And nobody in the modern era is going to appreciate it. It would also run foul against the UN Charter and the, in the Charter of Human Rights, which India has signed. Next. सर नमस्ते सर, योगी जी को सेंटर में क्यों नहीं ला रही बीजेपी? आर दे स्केर्ड ऑफ लूजिंग यूपी और स्केर्ड ऑफ योगी इन पार्लियामेंट? कैच क्या है सर? भाई देखिए, सबसे पहली बात यह है कि इफ ही कम्स इन द सेंटर ही विल नो लॉन्गर बी इंडिपेंडेंट। मैं कह रहा हूं कि अमित शाह को भी फ्री छोड़ दें आज की डेट में तो ही विल डिलीवर। द पोजीशन राइट नाउ इज दैट इवन अमित शाह कैन नॉट एक्ट इंडिपेंडेंटली of the Prime Minister. So there is no delegation of power as such. Next. Abhang, Sanatan, international media and Islam sympathetic governments have put huge pressure on Modi. And the media are specifically targeting Modi every day. After 317 triple talaq were abrogated, CAA was passed, all anti-India forces have viciously targeted Modi's image. Modi winning 400 plus in 2-4 will hurt them the most. Thoughts? Well, and Modi is not winning 400 plus. That the arithmetic is not there. So let's forget about that. The most that you can hope for is that he retains what he has right now. And I do not agree with the causes that you've given. The targeting has become more vicious after Modi was seen to backtrack on certain measures, especially CAA and the farm laws. That is because people have spotted a weakness. They know that he can be pressurized and be made to backtrack. Next. Sandeep Nagar. Sir, did the influence of Buddhism weaken the ferocity of Sanatanis because Buddhism is more inclined towards non-violence? Well, I don't think it dampened the ferocity because Buddhism itself vanished as soon as it encountered Islam. Islam simply ran over it and bulldozed it completely. And the Sanatanis not only kept fighting, they were fighting right till the 19th century with the Islamic invaders. And now they thought that they would not be required to fight and the state will take care of it after the so-called independence that we got in 1947. And it seems the Sanatanis are required to fight again. So they are rising up to the occasion. They are not shying away even today. Next. Shivam Pranam, Sanjay Ji Gurudev. AMU is thinking of opening course for comparative religions. We know what they will do. Why we always counter them. Also late counter. It is not time to have a proactive approach. We have Satya and they just have Dawa. I don't understand what the objection is. I mean, for very long we've been saying that Islam is a closed club and it should allow other thoughts also to flow in. And so if they have a course in comparative religions, let them have it. If they distort other religions, then we will have a cause to complain. And not only cause to complain at that time, in fact, they will be playing directly into our hands. If they start a course in comparative religion and then they misrepresent Hinduism, then I think it will be a situation for the better. So let's have that leverage. Why not? दीपांशु शर्मा, सर क्या मोदी जी अगली बार सत्ता में नहीं आएंगे? क्या बीजेपी के चांस हैं लोकसभा इलेक्शन जीतने के? अभी तक तो लग रहे हैं। या बीजेपी से कोई और पीएम बनने की उम्मीद है? हाँ, वो बीजेपी के कुछ लोग चाह रहे हैं कि ना आए, लेकिन ये लोग तो 2014 और 2019 में भी चाहते थे कि मेजॉरिटी ना आए, तो जिससे वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज कैंडिडेट बन जाए। मोल कुलकर्णी, डू मुस्लिम women envy Hindu women for the respect that they don't get, but Hindu women get? Well, a lot of them do, but most of them are so mentally enslaved that they are full in Stockholm syndrome, and they pretty much like the situation that they are in. Next, Slayer. PP Guruji, Ashirvadam, in your RULS database, please add the 300 Bengal Karyakartas and voters too, who were offered as Narabali to satiate the bloodlust of Bapu 2.0. Well, we add people by name and by identification. So if anyone can supply us, I don't think the number was 300. They are all documented numbers. Only the documented numbers will go into the database. And the list is ready. We will be publishing it on our website very soon. Amol Kulkarni, under Islam, women are treated and considered worse than even Jews and Hindus. It's them who can stand up and bring a change before we do. Yes, it is essentially for them. And if they do, especially the so called progressive and the educated ones, even they don't do. Even they are beating the drum of Islam everywhere. The Islamic dominance, they also feel happy if Islam dominates because Islam's basic DNA is to dominate. Next. रांझा रोमियो जी धन्यवाद, थैंक यू सर. बीजेपी ओबीसी मोर्चा नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट के लक्ष्मण demands 50% reservation for pasmandas in minority institutions. New agenda for BJP before 2024. Yes, I think this is a welcome announcement because it creates a wedge. I'm happy. In AMU, they should be able to give it. Why do they have difficulty? In AMU, in Jamia, in institutions like this, and so many minority institutions we have down south. Minority means Islamic institutions. They should happily announce it. In fact, they should take it by this. Let's take up this opportunity immediately. And mind you, it's in the minority institutions, so Hindus need not worry. Sridhar Nalla is BJP supporter. How we can eliminate top BJP secular leaders like Venkaiah Naidu, Rajnath Singh from the top leadership. Why do you only point out Venkaiah Naidu and Rajnath Singh? What about number 1 and 2? I think they are more secular than anyone else these days. महाराष्ट्र में अरबी अजान पर प्रतिबंध लग गया सर. भाई प्रतिबंध तो थियोरेटिकली पहले भी था, इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो रहा था. अब मुझे पता नहीं इम्प्लीमेंट होने लगा हो तो. नेक्स्ट. Slayers at everyone cross voting was done by opposition for President Murmu, whereas in Tripura it was the opposite. Is TMC making serious inroads? Seems a lot of drug supply is going on in the border areas. I think it's too early to read that. There's a lot of infighting within the Tripura BJP. And I don't know, there are only 2 MPs from there. So who cross voted? राणा डे, क्या भगवान विष्णु पूर्ण ब्रह्म है? अगर नहीं तो कौन और क्या है? भाई ये देखिए, ये यहाँ पर पहले मैं आपको फिर से बता दूं कि सनातन में ये जो जिज्ञासा लोगों की होती है कि कोई एक उत्तर बता दीजिए और उसको आप मान लें, तो भाई सभी पूर्ण ब्रह्म है. आप ये मानिए कि सभी पूर्ण ब्रह्म है. वैष्णव विष्णु को पूर्ण ब्रह्म मानते हैं, शैव शैव को पूर्ण ब्रह्म मानते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी पूर्ण ब्रह्म एक ही है. आप पूर्ण ब्रह्म को भी उत्तर से, दक्षिण से, पश्चिम से, पूर्व से देख सकते हैं, और एक ही ब्रह्म में आपको अलग अलग चित्र दिखाई पड़ सकते हैं. एक तरफ से आपको शिव दिखाई पड़ सकते हैं, दूसरी तरफ से विष्णु, तीसरी तरफ से ब्रह्मा दिख सकते हैं, चौथी तरफ से देवी माता दिख सकती है. समस्या कहाँ है? Slayer. So some people are trying to flame communal passions in the country, hence we will sink together. Who is James Bond? Sermonizing. He's sermonizing you and me because the other side is not going to listen to it anyway. But now we know. Now, fortunately, we know the James Bond. Next. Rana Day. अगर एलियट एंड डाउसन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया इज टोल्ड बाय इट्स ओन हिस्टोरियंस की पुस्तकों का सार हिंदी में लिखते हैं तो क्या कॉपीराइट रॉयल्टी या कोई और समस्या आ सकती है? नहीं, अब नहीं आ सकती, क्योंकि कॉपीराइट जो है ऑथर के मृत्यु के 60 साल तक ही रहता है, और ये पुस्तक 19वीं शताब्दी में लिखी गई थी, तो इसलिए अब इसके ऊपर कोई कॉपीराइट प्रोटेक्शन नहीं है। आप चाहें तो बिल्कुल अनुवाद करके और डाल सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट। Slayer. So, can law be made constitutionally for people convicted under UAPA or corruption beyond a threshold to be made stateless and their fundamental rights suspended for the rest of their natural life? You see, citizenship is decided by law. So, uh, citizenship can be taken away. A lot of people have taken, a lot of countries have done that. Israel, for instance, has done that. So theoretically it is possible, but whether it will be possible practically, that I am not sure. Next. Shivam, sir, can you please invite ex-Muslims from Kerala like Akshar Ali and others? Also, countering of Islamic Tanzim ideas does not seem to be coming from anywhere apart from you. When they have taken Pakistan, there should be no dispensation for these guys now. I agree with you. I agree with you, definitely. That's for these two gentlemen. Uh, Let me first look at their videos. Why don't you send a few links so that we can review their videos? Slayer, so Simranjeet Singh Maan is demanding Amar Balidani Bhagat Singh bus to be removed from SGPC. Why are the Khalistanis after Bhagat Singh now? Well, we did an episode on this. I don't know whether you watched it. And they are now demonizing Bhagat Singh because Bhagat Singh was originally against the ideas of Simranjeet Singh Man's Nanaji, that is maternal grandfather, Arur Singh, who was the great man who actually genuflected at the feet of Dyer. These are basically Angrezi Sikhs, so they are slaves to the British. So anything anybody does has done against the British Empire, these people are going to oppose him. Arur Singh was the one who actually gave Saropa to General Dyer and declared him honorary Sikh. So what can you expect from his grandson? Next. शिवम गुरुदेव, कैसा दुर्भाग्य भारत देश का 1400 साल से जिहाद से लड़ रहे हैं, 200 साल से यीशु वालों से, पर कोई धर्मध्वज रक्षक नेता नहीं आ रहा है। बीजेपी आरएसएस भी सर्वधर्म बड़ा पाव कर रहे हैं। धर्म की विजय का मार्ग प्रशस्त करें अब तो। देखिए, नेता आता है जब जब यहाँ प्रजा से मांग उठती है। अब मांग उठनी आरंभ हुई है, निश्चित रूप से कोई ना कोई आएगा। There, sir, a Kothawala from MP Kotha castigated a Hindu who married an M girl after she reverted to Sanatana while flaunting a tika himself on his forehead. The practicing Hindu Kothawalas have got their heads corrupted to the point they're hell bent in destroying their own faith. Yes, that's what I have also seen that video, and that's what that video would suggest. That these whom you call Kothawala, of course, I don't call them as such. They are beyond redemption in such certain places. I think that decision was stayed by the higher courts. Next. I'm not sure. Please have it. Please, I'll confirm it. S. Nandanji, Dhanyavad. Thank you so much. Abhinav Tripathi. Sir, I am unable to get riots and wrongs by RNPCing despite all efforts. It's unavailable everywhere. Please guide and assist. I got it from Amazon. I got it from Amazon. So I think you should. They have this option of clicking on the inform me when it is available. So why don't you just click that option and wait? Dhaval ji, धन्यवाद, thank you. And Tanish Somaiya ji, धन्यवाद, thank you. देव रॉय सर, हमारे देसी जेम्स बॉन्ड 786 के बारे में कुछ विचार रखिए। हाँ, हमारी इनसे वार्तालाप होने वाला है बहुत जल्दी, और जैसे ही वार्तालाप होगा, आपको ध्यान है, यू रिमेम्बर आई हैड दिस डायलॉग विद द चिश्तीज when Sanjay Dixit met a Chishti. Now, when Sanjay Dixit meets Doval, then we will inform you, we will bring it for your consumption. Next. Sir, Paramveer Singh कहाँ है? Why is he not in jail? भाई, उनको तो प्रोटेक्शन है सबसे बड़ी अदालत से, तो अदलिया के प्रोटेक्शन में है, तो कोई क्या कर सकता है? नेक्स्ट. Ame Ram Joshi, 8,000 years old temple found in Saudi with a Yagyavedi forcing the temple of God. Kahal is Aurva Rishi, grandson of Shukracharya, origin of name Aravasthan. Too early to say. I think findings are still being analyzed and the findings are still being validated. Let the findings be validated first. Next. Abhijit Sudhakar, your thoughts on age of enlightenment in Europe. Do you find similarity in Descartes? I think, therefore I am. Vedanta. The Vedanta says the other way around. Vedanta says the other way around. I am, therefore I think. So there is no similarity between Descartes and that is why that age of enlightenment actually did not lead to spiritual enlightenment and remained confined to what is called material enlightenment. Next. Sir, what is the truth about Thanish Somaya? Truth about Jawaharlal Nehru's ancestors being Muslims? No truth to it. Total gap. राष्ट्र ध्वज देश ध्वज सही या गलत? आपको सादर. राजश्री सूजी, राष्ट्र ध्वज भगवा एंड देशभक्त. मैं समझ में नहीं आया आप क्या पूछ रहे हैं. वैसे तिरंगे में मुझे कोई किसी प्रकार की समस्या मुझे पर्सनली नहीं है, ये बता दूं आपको. उसमें भी भगवा सबसे ऊपर ही है. रांझा रोमियो. Ram sir, what is your view of the two top Modi minister, Miss Irani and Anurag Thakur, given their Bollywood fascination? Are these Trojan horses? No, no, no. Everybody who loves Bollywood is not a Trojan horse. They might love Bollywood for a few good movies. Even I like so many old Bollywood movies. Wonderful. Even if they were made by leftists. Look at Bimal Roy movies. Bimal Roy was a leftist, but look at his movies. Jay Prakash Singh, sir, my father, ex-serviceman, purchased a land, government trade in sale deed 15 lakhs for constructing house post-retirement, which is now coming under Ganga Expressway. Government sanctioned total 5 lakhs to 4 times market rate. Land Acquisition Act, all the applications written to Yogi Ji and UPA were forwarded to DM for necessary action, but of no use. How to proceed now? Forwarded to DM for necessary action. It's very simple these days, you know. Why don't you write a Twitter post? He can help you by retweeting it. I find that the UP police and UP administration is very sensitive to these tweets. So why don't you try that? Next. Who's right, Sanjay ji? I heard that in the 16th century in England, education is limited to the rich and the poor were not allowed to study. Where can we access these documents? Yes, it is right. Higher education was limited to the elites, of course, and there was no universal primary education either. So it was basically choice based, and the choice rested with the elites mostly. It was a feudal setup. Where can we access those documents? That I am not sure. That's something that I'm not quite sure. Next. R. Agarwal, Pakistan using Bitcoin to fund terror in Kashmir. No idea. No idea really. हिंदू कम्युनलिस्ट प्रणाम सर द वीक द्वारा विवादास्पद चित्र प्रकाशित करने में देवराय भी लपेटे में आए हैं क्या उनके विरुद्ध भी आवाज़ नहीं उठानी चाहिए सनातनियों को नहीं उठाई थी संदीप देव जी ने आवाज़ उठाई भी थी और उसका रिस्पांस भी आया था और उसका रिस्पांस यूँ आया था कि उन्होंने ये कहा कि उन्होंने चिट्ठी लिखी वीक को और अपने आप को उससे विड्रॉ कर लिया और उसका जो है कंडेमनेशन भी किया नेक्स्ट नवनीत रंजन जी धन्यवाद विशाल सर इन महाभारत वॉट एवर हैपेंड इन इंद्रप्रस्थ महल दुर्योधन knew something big was going to happen. I read this in a translation. I think it was Krishna's plan all along to get the Kauravas killed. Krishna would have killed the Pandavas too if they would have been albinos like their father. I mean, this this is something very novel, and I haven't heard anything like this. I haven't heard anybody tell me that the Kauravas were albinos or the Pandavas were albinos. I don't know where this is from. Sorry. Next. Slayer. Sir, a video is circulating where Jaipur Electricity Board officials are openly exhibiting their perverseness with a Hindu girl who probably may have been pushed into this business. No doubt Rajasthan is topping the rape charts. With this level of denigration of our Hindu society, how will the awakening happen? In Rajasthan, it is going to happen soon. Don't worry. It will happen next year. Next. Ram Kapoor, Namaste Sanjay ji. Please tell something about Gopal Patha. Well, Gopal Patha or Gopal Chattopadhyay was the person who organized the Resistance to Direct Action Day in Calcutta, which started on the 16th of August 1946, 17th Ramzan Day. And he organized it so fiercely that Muslims are not only beaten back, they had to actually lean on the shoulders of Mahatma Gandhi to have the rats stopped. And it was pretty bad show for them. Gopal Patha completely pulverized them, and actually he was the one who saved Calcutta from passing into the hands of Muslims and to East Bengal. India. Sanjay ji, please translate Domingo Pays Abdul Razak accounts of Vijayanagar Empire in Hindi. It is best available record of strong and rich Hindu empire. Okay. Translations of old archives are extremely difficult task. We are having our hands full with one Fatawa Alamgiri. Now we have got the Fatawa Alamgiri simplified version, and we will soon upload it. Next. Amir Ram Joshi, have you seen recent stream by Koharam's team on VT Rajashekar, venomous author propagating hatred against Brahmins, Dalits, Muslim unity, even converting Dalits to Islam? He has links with SIMI PFI agencies. Need to monitor him. Thank you for informing. We will keep a watch. Next. Dhaval 028, what government is doing to crack down on those institutes which are carrying out anti-India, and what to think about Bharati School Board. I have done a episode. I have done a video on Bharatiya Shiksha Board yesterday. You can have a look at that. And what government is doing to crack down? Nothing. Precisely nothing. They're just hoping that things would fall into place on its own. Kashyap Sharma, thank you for enlightening us. Big fan. Thank you, Kashyap ji. Nandan Gowda, Namaste SDG. If a book preaches hatred, murdering, sex slavery, incest, intolerance, to name few and considered religious, can that book be banned as per law? Not if it is a book of a religion. If it is a book of fiction, it would have been banned. But because it is a book of religion, it cannot be banned. That is the irony. I agree with Justice Chandrachud. He says that justice and law are two different things. That's what he said today. And he's going to be our CJI. Next, Shurveer programs are only option for Gyanvapi is economic choke. That's what Shurveer program is working. Please check Neeraj at research channel. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Don't do it at that openly. Next, Abhijit Sudhakar. JSD का न्यू बुक आया, अमी जी का भी प्लीज डिस्कस. आने दीजिए, अभी तो प्रीव्यू नहीं करूंगा, मैं रिव्यू करूंगा. आ जाएगी उसके बाद. Then I will approach him and then maybe we'll take after release. Give me a month and a half. I will also have to read it. Slayer. So did Lala Lajpat Rai too support Khilafat in connivance with Bapu 1.0, and did he regret it later? Well, he knew the tricks of Islam pretty well, though he also supported. That was probably with regard to his leader. Unfortunately, Mahatma Gandhi was the leader at that time. I wish he hadn't been. Yes, that is the situation. Next, Madhuri Vardhan. So, do we really need religion in today's life? Well, we need knowledge, and therefore, uh, we need something like Sanatan Dharma, which is not a book based religion, which does not teach dogma, but which exhorts you to pursue knowledge. So we need exactly something like that. But we do not need book based religion which says, oh, there was one God who created earth in 7 days, and then the earth will vanish, and then there will be one last day, and there will be a judgment and all that, and there will be eternal heaven and hell. Next. Slayer, sir, though we get a lot of entertainment from ex-Mormon channels now, yet they are no match to Deen Ki Dawat from the Holy Trinity itself. Hence, eagerly awaiting your direction to take us nearer to Jannat. Okay, thank you. Vicky Vidyarthi, please call Nityananda Mishra, Ajit Bharti, Vaibhav Singh, Sudhanshu Trivedi for your offline event. Okay, next. Slayer, sir, Government of India withdrew the data protection bill even after JPC gave suggestions and approved it, stating it will bring a comprehensive bill later. We are already too late, and personal data is being rampantly misused to the point of endangering national security. Even I was foxed by that. But they're saying that they'll bring it in the winter session. So let's, if you waited for so many years, 5 years, so let's wait for another 2, 3, 4 months. Next, illegal Bangladeshi Muslims are estimated 2-3 crore, can be deported, practically possible, and will Bangladesh accept them? Demographic change is very fast. Well, there are methods, and I will not say anything more than that. Next, Madri Vardhan. So, can uniform civil code really possible? Of course, it's possible. Very much possible. Why not? If it is being implemented in one state, it can be implemented in all the states. What's the difficulty? No difficulty at all, according to me. भरत कुमार पटेल, अखंड भारत बनेगा तो हम पसंद वाली सरकार चुन पाएंगे? अब ये तो कैसे कहा जा सकता है? That is not something that we can be guaranteed. अखंड भारत की परिभाषा क्या है, कैसे करेगा, ये सब बहुत ही विचारणीय विषय है. Dave Roy, sir, any idea on special protection of Siliguri corridor? There is a huge surge of peaceful community in last 5 years. I guess the army and the security establishments have some plans, but those plans mostly focus on the hard security strategy, not on the soft security strategy. We need a soft security strategy, that is demography. Demography should be made a compulsory element of our security doctrine. देवी कंडपल्ली, प्रणाम संजय जी. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि ओल्ड कन्वर्ट जेम्स बॉन्ड एंड फ्रेश कन्वर्ट अब्बासी हिंदू आर ट्राइंग टू मेक भारत का खिलाफत? ये आपका आइडिया बड़ा जोरदार है, और ये मैं इन माय कॉन्वर्सेशन विद जेम्स बॉन्ड आई विल आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. यस, प्लीज मेक अ नोट ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. दिस इज अ वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट, संजय सर, ट्राइबल्स और एवरी इंच हिंदूज पर कोनराड जी का एक शोध पढ़ने को मिला, बहुत उपयोगी. संभव हो तो उन्हें इस विषय पर आमंत्रित करें. कोनराड जी तो हमारे यहाँ उनके कम से कम नहीं तो 20 वीडियो होंगे. उनमें ये विषय है या नहीं, पहले मैं देख लूं, नहीं तो मैं आपको फ्लैग कर दूंगा. Clear, sir. In Salem, ESI found a temple deity to be actually Buddha, and the HRCC has ordered the temple to be converted into Buddhist site and stop all Hindu rituals. Does 1991 Act not apply here? It applies only when the Hindu sites are there. But I think it's actually welcome, because we don't have any issue. If it is found to be an originally Buddhist site, I have no issue in handing it over to the Buddhist. But I will use that as a precedent to get all my sites back from the Muslims and the Christians. Abhishek, Doval's Shatrubodh is pathetic. Ours is far better than him. Thanks to you. If Modi ji is watching this, please ask Doval to have 1 hour session with Sanjay sir. चलिए जी, very high hopes. Next. Slayer, sir, the Jamaat party in Karnataka is so shameless that its president is going about making statements that Jamaat party has 12 crore members, so if you resign here and there, it won't make any difference. Has the Ashraf class lulled them so much that their arrogance has reached Asmani level? Yes, it does look like that. We did a session on this recently, and we did a session with Pradeep Singh ji. You must watch that. Abhishek, isn't it our failure that we allowed Islamists to come so close to Doval and influence him? Oh, who can influence Doval? Doval is James Bond. Desi James Bond. My name is James. My name is Bond. Desi James Bond. Secular Slayer. Why not create a Kanhaiya Dargah in nearby Ajmer Sharif and seal out any chance of Hindus going back there by diverting Hindus to Kanhaiya Dargah, since Hindus are known to be master of Stockholm syndrome? Clever idea. Hmm. Abhishek, films like PK are made to test how much Hindu is remaining in us after going through an education system hell bent on making us secular. Sadly, PK was successful. Modi ji can listen to Hindu voice only when we ensure failures of film like PK. He wants society to demand from him strong action against jihadis. Didn't we ask him for strong action against jihadis in West Bengal? I think the country was almost unanimous. Next, Abhay Singh. So please guide how to be motivated to work hard. Please read the Bhagwat Gita. Next, अनित भार्गव. राम राम संजय जी. सर, पीएफआई के साथ साथ उनके लीडर्स, ऑपरेटर्स और फंडर्स का भी को बैन करना ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. वैसे तो यूएपीए में यही प्रोविजन है कि वो फंडर, सहयोगी, उनके जितने भी हैं सब हैं, सबको सबको उसमें लपेटा जा सकता है. लेकिन पहले वो पीएफआई को तो बैन करें. नेक्स्ट, शांत प्रणाम म्यूजिकल वाइब सागर. प्रणाम सर, आज मध्य प्रदेश में 55 मुस्लिम फैमिली मेंबर्स ने घर वापसी की है. क्या एक्स मुस्लिम एंड घर वापसी मूवमेंट कैन एंड पेंगुइन्स प्रोडक्ट टिल 2100? देखिए देखिए क्या हो सकता है, लेकिन वेलकम है, बहुत अच्छी बात है ये. बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है, और ये एक मुझे लगता है बहुत वेलकम स्टेप है. और एक मैंने देखा था, आज वीडियो भी देखा था उसका, जो भी हैं उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, जो महात्मा जी हैं. शांता, नमस्ते सर, एक्स मुस्लिम से. बस एक और ऐड कर दूं इसमें कि अगर सारे संत महात्मा ये व्रत ले लें तो बहुत आसानी से सारा काम हो जाएगा. शांता, नमस्ते सर, एक्स मुस्लिम्स एंड यू से दैट इस्लाम इज रॉन्ग बट नॉट मुस्लिम्स. आई नेवर सेड दैट. दैट इस्लाम इज द मेन रीजन, नॉट मुस्लिम्स. कौन कहता है? ये कहते हैं कि जो अपोलोजिस्ट हैं, दे से द अपोलोजिस्ट से दैट इस्लाम इज करेक्ट, सम मुस्लिम्स में बी रॉन्ग. We say that it is the Islam which is wrong. There may be some Muslims which may also be wrong. Islam is definitely wrong. Maybe many Muslims do not follow actual Islam. What about Shatrubodh? As common men, I have boycotted goods and services from peaceful people. Good. Everybody should follow your example. Dev Roy, James Bond 786. चलिए आगे बढ़िए. नेक्स्ट. जेम्स बॉन्ड 786 एपिसोड मजेदार होगा. बिल्कुल मजेदार होगा. हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि मजेदार हो. नेक्स्ट, डार्क मीम. नेक्स्ट पीएम योगी जी बनेंगे या मोटा भाई लाइन में है? मोटा भाई हैज बीन साइलेंट ऑन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल ऑफ आवर इश्यूज. आई डोंट वांट हिम. कुछ नहीं कह सकते साहब, नेताओं का कुछ नहीं पता चलता. नेक्स्ट, Poverty. So the younger brother of Namudri Brahmins of Kerala are the original Semitic people. Left-handed homosexual younger brothers of Namudri Brahmins created Judaism in Hebrew. The Exodus, which is talked about, was from Kerala to Minikoy. They later escaped to Jerusalem. These are the original Jews. Their descendants are all dead. Interesting. Interesting. But I don't buy this. I'm sorry. Next. सुभाष पिपलानी गुड़गांव. मेरा एक सुझाव है कि आप संजय जी के लंबे वीडियोस को टुकड़ों में दिखाएं. व्यूज भी और सब्सक्राइबर्स भी बढ़ेंगे. ओके. नेक्स्ट, कामाक्षी बल्ला. व्हाट पैरामीटर्स शुड बी कंसिडर्ड फॉर असेसिंग इलेक्शन कैंडिडेट्स टू मेक अ रैशनल वोटिंग डिसीजंस? Well, basically, we all make that rational decision by considering The party, the leader of the party who is going to become the chief minister or the prime minister, and we also consider the candidate. If the candidate is particularly distasteful, then sometimes we have to make a decision whether we'll ignore the party, and because the candidate is so bad that even the party we will not consider. These are the main considerations that will come into it. Nikhil Rohila, sir, how do you get accountability from the local MCs? MCs. There's someone who's close to our family on mayor post, but they don't do the work which public approaches them for. How to get them to work? Make an association. Make an association. Next. Anisha, many Muslims say in Kashmir more Muslims suffered than Pandits. Muslim were genocide in 1990, but only Pandit genocide is highlighted. What do you say? It's all big bullshit. Mhm. Only those Muslims were killed who did not support the jihad, and majority, or by overwhelming majority, did, either by silence or by connivance. That is the fact. No Muslim was killed for being a Muslim. A Muslim was killed for not supporting jihad. Next. Is it possible that government bring policy, not law, that if any Momin wants to come into Sanatan, then he will be given some financial incentives? You don't have to speak about it. You can do it without even announcing it. I can tell you so many ways. Next. India, did Indira Gandhi take treasure of Jaigarh fort? It is so rumored, but there is no corroboration. Next. Jagdeep ji failed in Bengal. How he will manage RSS? In Bengal, he had no independent power. I think he thwarted Mamata beautifully. And the way he created a narrative, a national narrative against Mamata, it's what's praiseworthy. In Rajya Sabha, he will have independent powers. In the governor house in Calcutta, he did not have independent power. Next. Musical vibe sagar, boycott Lal Singh Chadda and all jihadi business. Absolutely, with you. Next. The smart Neo. Why can't government bring law for speedy punishment for religious religious violence maybe? It doesn't have to bring law. It only has to create some special courts. That's all. It doesn't even have to create the law. Law is already there. Expediting prosecution is a matter of policy, not of law. Next. Next, please. वैभव पुष्पेंद्र जी दोबारा अपने चैनल पे लाएं। जी धन्यवाद, ट्राई करेंगे। नेक्स्ट। सुशील चौहान, धन्यवाद। Akhilesh Badrinath, there are some institutions like ISKCON which talk only about Krishna and disregard Shiva. Durga Ganesh as demigods and also have written wrong translations of Gita. Why do we still support them? You see, this is a very broad umbrella. And if you start discarding people on their minor variations, then who will you have left? Because of the open architecture of the Sanatan Dharma, You will have people looking at these things in all manners. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti is the Veda Vakyan, and nobody disregards the Vedas. So they can call the Parabrahma as a Krishna, they can call him as a Rama, they can call him as a Shiva. Please read Ramacharita of Tulsi Das ji, where he reconciled the differences among the Dvaitins, the Advaitins, the Vaishnavas, the Shaivas so beautifully. That is the way, that is the path to take. Abhishek, God works like a support system for a typical dharmic person in the moments of crisis in life. What support system do leftist seculars have in the moments of crisis in life? Ha. Karl Marx. Karl Marx is a self-same system. I guess so. Nothing better works. Neelab Kashyap, Namaste sir. Seems like Nitish Kumar JDU is separating with BJP and make government with RHD. RJD, your comments. Has been going on for a long time. Nitish is a past master in making these moves. What exactly he will do, nobody knows. Next. Abhijit Sudhakar, Hell, Sanjay sir, Namaste. We say Abrahamics follow dogma, but what about different panths in Sanatana? There are also strict rules to follow. Each sect of Vaishnava, Shaiva, Shakta, Jain, etc., just playing devil's advocate. You're right, but those are all subsidiary rules. Ultimately, it says that wherever the Vedas and the Smritis conflict, the Vedas and the Agamas conflict, the Vedas shall prevail. Or Vedas are what? They're books of knowledge. So knowledge shall always prevail in Sanatana. That is the basic. Next, Doval want to know what government is doing to have a crackdown on these education institute at higher level, which are having anti-India stands. I haven't seen any inclination to do that. Not till now. Next. Madhuri Vadan sir, if we make India as a Hindu country, how can we say India can't become like Pakistan and Bangladesh and attack on other religious people? Because our fundamentals are different. Our fundamentals are different. We don't make anybody Zimmi or second class citizen, whereas in Islamic countries, all others are second class citizens by law, by the Shariat law. We treat all beings as the same. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Mr. Nick, thank you. Dhanyawad. Aruch Singh, can we study Israel system for dealing with M community? We have studied, all of us know it also, but where is the political will? Sir, can you recommend book on Indian history? Please read R.C. Majumdar. I recommend it to everybody. Please make video, Anisha, please make video on one of the greatest patriots, Shri Rajiv Dixit ji, exposed fake history, MNCs to death, and taught us true Shatru Bodh. He was killed by breaking India forces. Okay, next. Ameya Naam Joshi, why do white balls move so less compared to red balls? Do pitch dependent T20 World Cup make sense? With cricket going football way, can Champions League T20 be brought back? As owners go global, Ambani can buy Karachi and rename it Kushavati Sindhians. Well, all leagues are dependent on their national governments. So, if you think that there can be a truly international cricket league, especially involving Pakistan and India both, that's not going to happen. Then you say, why do white balls move so less compared to red balls? See, all balls behave differently. Why white balls move so less compared to red balls is the balls that are being used are basically kookaburra balls, which are machine stitched. And those machine stitched kookaburra balls, they lose their seam very quickly. Also, on the white balls, you have a little less lacquer compared to the red balls. So that's also a factor. Next. अरिंदम सरकार प्रणाम गुरुजी। हेमंत विश्व शर्मा 5 जिहादी मॉड्यूल ब्लास्ट किया है, लेकिन हमारा दीदी बंगाल में पहले तो पूरी पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में मुसलमान को भर्ती किया और अब नया 5 जिला बना रहा है। सभी नया जिला का ग्रामीण इलाके में मुल्ला 80% मेजोरिटी में होगा। इस बात को लेकर मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया में कोई भी बात नहीं हो रहा है, तो क्या फिर एक बार बंगाल में और एक डायरेक्ट एक्शन डे आने वाला है? हम तो कह के थक गए। सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ये सब काम जो है वो कर सकती है, लेकिन वो करती ही नहीं है। उनको लगता है कि हर ऐसा काम होने से जिससे मुसलमानों को फायदा होता है, उनका हिंदू वोट कंसोलिडेट होगा। अब उसके लिए तो क्या किया जाए? नेक्स्ट। स्वर्गीय श्री अजीत दीक्षित क्या आपके रिश्ते में लगते हैं? नहीं, वे भी आपकी तरह विद्वान और बहुआयामी प्रतिभा के धनी थे जी। नेक्स्ट। संजय सिंह, kindly consider getting a GST registration and offering GST invoice subscriptions memberships, basically products on your website. This would enable self-employed professionals and privately owned businesses to book such subscriptions as business expenses, and they will be able to contribute a little more freely. I think this would give similar accounting results as ATG. Interesting, very good suggestion. We will examine it and come back to you. सूर्य नारायण को जल चढ़ाने का मजाक उड़ाने वाले को जब बोला कि आप लोग कीचड़ में डुबाते हो इसलिए हम जल चढ़ाते हैं, तो सामने वाले को बुरा लगा। वेरी गुड एक्सप्लेनेशन, थैंक यू, दैट गिव्स मी अ वेरी गुड आइडिया फॉर यूज इन फ्यूचर। नेक्स्ट। अंकुर महेंद्र नालंदे सर, कैन यू मेक वीडियो सीरीज ऑन ईच cadre IAS ऑफिसर which you know personally? No, that would not be proper. No. It is very difficult. I won't attempt it. MK, क्या छर्रे वाली गुब्बारे फोड़ने वाली बंदूक रखने के लिए परमिशन की जरूरत है? ना। एक आतताई की गाड़ी पंक्चर करना है जरूरत पड़ने पर, ना। एयर गन के लिए कोई लाइसेंस नहीं चाहिए। नेक्स्ट। Courtly, very happy Modi government did not issue a statement on Taiwan. None of our business. White man will never allow the brown or yellow man to surpass him. Yes. Very good. I agree with you. Next. R. Agarwal, please support Kartikeya 2 movie on 11th August. Yes. Everybody, please support Kartikeya 2 movie. Please make increase video on increasing crime in Rajasthan. 100%. See that tomorrow. Next. Abhijit Sudhakar, did Yogi ji really disband Hindu Job? I mean, no. They are reorganizing it. Your thoughts? Will you have discussion regarding this? They haven't disbanded it. That's a fake news. I don't want to jump to conclusions emotionally unless I get full picture. Dhaval want to know what government is doing to have a crackdown on those education institute. हो गया ये तो. Done. Repeated question. Anisha, why we stopped worshipping Vedic gods and worshipping only Puranic gods? Because we are an evolutionary system of knowledge. And most of the nature gods are still venerated. Abhijit Sudhakar, continuation of Enlightenment age, so you don't approve of logic being the way to truth. Is logic Western concept? No. Nyaya Shastra. Read our Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya is one of the Shaddarshanas. सनातन का व्यू है लॉजिक के बारे में। अरे षड दर्शन में है भाई न्याय इज लॉजिक। नेक्स्ट। म्यूजिकल वाइफ सागर इन दिस हिंदू यूथ एंगर फॉर किलिंग कन्हैया, योर कमेंट? यू सी दैट एविडेंस एवरी डे, ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज। नेक्स्ट। Avijit Sudhakar, you talk in Sangam Talks are so hilarious, roasting that fake convert. Will you invite Jordan Peterson or any American conservative like Ben Shapiro or anyone in your channel? In US against folks, we need to ally with conservatives. We will try. We keep inviting a lot of people from the US. We invited Robert Spencer, David Wood, Will Warner. Yes, we'll try and invite some conservatives also. Next. Percentage of Muslims killed in 1947, all were Hindu. It was. In fact, if you go by Dominic Lapierre, uh, Freedom at Midnight, then number of people killed, Muslims were more, but Hindus and Sikhs lost far more property. Next. उत्कर्ष पांडे, धन्यवाद जी. दिमित्री बोगाटोव का एक है, देख लीजिएगा. Queer, sir, dear Sanjay ji, do you think ISRO will bounce back after SSLV failure? Failures are part of their normal routine. It happens. Next. There can never be a first time right approach. दिमित्री बोगाटोव, क्या भारत के पड़ोसी देशों को आर्थिक रूप से व्यथित अप्राकृतिक भावना से की जा रही है? तो इसमें अखंड भारत का क्या कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइजेशन है? नहीं भाई. नेबर्स को असिस्ट करना है सो दैट दे डोंट फॉल इनटू द चाइनीज ट्रैप. एज सिंपल एज दैट. सिंपल डिप्लोमेसी. मयंक शर्मा, बीजेपी से उम्मीद कम होती जा रही है. आप और आपके सहयोगी और हम एक नई राजनीतिक पार्टी रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं. लेट्स सी. नेक्स्ट. जोशी जी क्वेश्चन, सुन्नी लोग मज़ारों को कुफ्र मानते हैं, चिश्ती लोग उन्हीं को अपनी वफादारी दिखा रहे हैं. ये बड़ा अजीब है. यानी शिया सुन्नी सूफी सब हिंदुओं के खिलाफ एक है. अरे भैया, सूफी भी सुन्नी है. ये इनमें बरेलवी और देवबंदी अलग अलग हैं. तो इसलिए आप इस चक्कर में मत पड़िए कि ये कोई सुन्नियों से अलग है. ये भी सुन्नी ही है. सब हनफी मजहब के सुन्नी हैं. इसी में देवबंदी और बरेलवी दो कौमें हैं, जिसमें बरेलवी जो है वो सूफियों की फेडरेशन है. Shanta sir, kindly make videos of wokeism in younger generation exclusively, and how do they affect their life? We have made some on JD USA. You can go to JD USA, those videos are available there. Next. Paras Gupta, Ram sir, what's your views on Israel-Gaza conflict? क्या अभी भी liberals condemn करेंगे इसराइल के एक्शन को? नहीं, वो तो करेंगे. उनको ये थोड़ी फर्क पड़ता है कि साहब कि सही क्या है गलत क्या है. उनको तो इसराइल को ही कंडेम करना है, कुछ भी कर लो. नेक्स्ट. FSC judges are selected through exam instead of collegium, and there will be question of reservation and representation, and then roster. It will just open the floodgates, and we will have judges giving judgments according to their political ideology and political groups they come from. And that's not the idea. You should have a screening test, and only those who pass that screening test should be eligible. As simple as that. Then you appoint anybody out of that, in the same way it is being appointed today. But of course, not with the primacy of the judiciary. इंडिया डाइजेस्ट, हिंदूज वोकिज्म का शिकार होते जा रहे हैं, इसको रिवर्स कैसे करें? इसके बारे में लोगों को जानकारी देकर, उनको अवेयर कर उनको से बातचीत करके, नहीं तो जैसे हम करते हैं यूट्यूब वीडियो बना के. नेक्स्ट. आशुतोष सर, विभाजन की विभीषिका और अमृत महोत्सव में दिमागी सामंजस्य कैसे बनाया जाए? है तो मुश्किल. मेरे पास भी कोई रेडीमेड फॉर्मूला नहीं है. लेकिन अगर कोई बहुत अधिक जरूरी ना हो तो न्यूट्रल भी रहा जा सकता है. राम कपूर, नमस्ते संजय जी, प्लीज कॉल अनुज धर, इश्तियाक अहमद, तारिक फतेह एंड कपिल कुमार to discuss India's partition so we could get Pakistan side and Indo side. Okay. Aditya, please ask this to Sanjay sir in today's video. Ajit sir in one of his videos said that he doesn't buy that fake propaganda of Desi James Bond doctrine, which was peddled by JD, and there is no Jay Shankar doctrine. Also, there's only one doctrine, Modi doctrine. No offense to Ajit sir, I admire him a lot, but I guess he's a master stroke body too. Is getting fooled by BJP's false promises. He has his own viewpoint, and what he says in other places, I don't go by that. If he says that in my show, then I will counter him, and that is how it goes. That is how healthy discussion should be. Goblet fire. How to talk to today's woke youth who say don't give a lecture after we say two sentences. Give more lecture. अभिषेक जी, समझते संजय जी, राजू हिरानी और आमिर खान है 3 इडियट्स में भी जो राजू का कैरेक्टर है उससे हिंदू धर्म का धिक्कार डरपोक दिखाया था, खुद का दिखाकर डरपोक दिखाया है। जो अच्छे मार्क्स और जॉब के लिए पूजा करता रहता है, एक्चुअली उनको ये दिखाना चाहिए था कि फरहान के अब्बू उसके फोटोग्राफी के करियर के खिलाफ इसलिए थे क्योंकि वो हराम है इस्लाम में। असली डरपोक तो इस्लामिस्ट है। गुड आइडिया, आपने अच्छा पकड़ा। अभिषेक जी सर, मैंने संदीप देव जी का वीडियो देखा था रिगार्डिंग हिंदू संस्कृति की in Arab during Raja Vikramaditya time. He has explained nicely about different yugas and concluded that these Muslims are descendant of Shukracharya's son, the Asuras. Yes, there is a theory. There is a theory that says that. I agree. Mark Asmin, can you please tell Modi ji that Hindus will vote for BJP, plus don't slaughter Hindus? Who will bell the cat, sir? What will be the fate of Mamata Banerjee? That she'll meet the fate of all dictators. Next. क्या हमें बीजेपी चोर कर हिंदुस्तान निर्माण दल का बढ़ावा देना चाहिए छोड़कर? आपकी राय? अभी कोई आए तो सामने, अभी तो कुछ है नहीं। नेक्स्ट, अनीशा, a Vedic scholar from Kora, Kiron Krishnan, always criticizes Murti Puja. Arya Samaji, he must be an Arya Samaji. He has Kora spaces to debunk Puranas. He thinks Mahabharata etc. are fantasy. Is he Abrahamized? You think Vedas are something frozen in time? Even Rami Shivan follows him. Oh, well, Arya Samajis are like that. No? So basically, the Arya Samajis do that. They think Vedas are something that are frozen in time, and there is no evolution beyond Vedas. So basically, it's very much Abrahamized Hinduism. Next, Madhuri Vardhan, why Hindus are becoming on one vote bank instead of dividing in different castes, and also why Hindus unable to boycott caste system. In North, it's actually more when compared to South. I doubt that, Madhuri ji. I doubt if it is more in North. In fact, it is far worse in South in many quarters, in many pockets. Next. Uday Patil ji, thank you. Sukritvi ji, thank you. India's Domingo pays where traders. This repeated question. Next. Hayat, thank you. The third eye, how come the Ford Foundation is against Hindus? Isn't the Ford grandson's devotee of Krishna? The ideology uh, does not look at sons and grandsons. The ideology is ideology. If you look at certain Quranic verses, they say that, in fact, I can cite you the verse. It is, I think, 9.23 that says that you chastise and you give up and be hard against even your father and brother and anyone else if they do not accept Islam. DPS Jadon, Asaram case compared with Father Mukaila, नूपुर केस कंपेयर टू जुबैर जो नाम्बी नारायण के साथ हुआ, जितेंद्र त्यागी के साथ हुआ, लेकिन जब वसीम रिजवी थे तो कोई सज़ा नहीं थी। असंख्य एग्जाम्पल हैं ऐसे जिससे लगता है कि देश में मुस्लिम या क्रिश्चियन होना ज़्यादा फ़ायदेमंद है। अ, तो ऐसे में यदि कोई सोचे भी हिंदू धर्म की घर वापसी की तो वो क्यों करे? और भाई देखिए, जो घर वापसी करने आता है ना वो आत्मिक शांति के लिए आता है। जो रोज़मर्रा का उसकी जो ज़िंदगी है वो इतनी टफ है, विशेषकर जो महिलाओं की है वो इतनी टफ है कि वो उनको आसानी से लाया जा सकता है, अगर लेकिन उनके ऊपर काम किया जाए तो। उनको इनसे कोई मतलब नहीं है कि साहब फादर मुल्लेकल का क्या हुआ और आसाराम जी का क्या हुआ, इसका उसका क्या हुआ। ये थॉट्स वहाँ नहीं है उस लेवल पे। वहाँ पर जो बेसिक ज़िंदगी है उसके थॉट्स हैं, उसको हाइलाइट करें। और बेसिक ज़िंदगी फॉर अ फॉलोअर ऑफ इस्लाम इज़ रियली हार्ड। 5 बार तो नमाज़ पढ़ना है उसको, काम कब करेगा? तो नहीं पढ़ेगा 5 बार नमाज़ तो वैसे ही उसको जहन्नुम में जाना है, तो है किस लिए फिर वहाँ पे? Nikhil, BJP is coming hard on KCR government in Telangana. What do you think about chance in approach? They will become number two party for sure, and they might run them close. But I don't think KCR is going to lose power as yet. One more term maybe. Chintan Patel, some schools believe that Kalki Avatar will take over the world soon. What are your thoughts? Well, speculations. Next. अरिंदम सरकार प्रणाम गुरुजी। हेमंत विश्व शर्मा 5 जिहादी मॉड्यूल ब्लास्ट किया है। रिपीटेड क्वेश्चन। नीलाप कश्यप नमस्ते सर। आई हियर समवेयर बुद्ध इज अवतार ऑफ लॉर्ड विष्णु बट ही इज वर्शिप्ड इन सनातन धर्म। He is not worshipped in Sanatan Dharma. Is it true? Please explain. Of course, he is worshipped. All Hindus go to Buddhist temples. All Hindus go to Buddhist temples. My father was posted in Kushinagar. He used to go to there. His Nirvana Mandir. राजदेव बीडी में आर्थिक स्थिति खराब, वापस इंक्रीज इन इन्फिल्ट्रेशन। नहीं नहीं, वहाँ बस स्थिति बहुत अच्छी है, बहुत बढ़िया है। लोग वहीं जाओ, जितने भी हैं सबको भेजो इधर ही। नेक्स्ट। Babu sir is Anglophone Africa and Southeast Asia open for migration for job opportunities for postgraduates in history from University of Mumbai. Babu, I don't have a clear idea, so I would not misguide you. I'll try and locate somebody who can suggest to you the right way. Hayat, do you think West Bengal has reached a point of no return in terms of Islamization? No. If Assam can be brought back, West Bengal is not at that level yet. Kiran Krishnan is not Arya Samaji. Okay. Next. Sir, you said that during Maratha era, tax was much less than Mughals. The narrative is that due to high tax, no king supported Marathas in Panipat. Ah, that's bullshit. That's a complete border dash. Anisha, why must Gaurakshaks are from north? Are South Indians more beef eater? Well, I know of Gorakshaks in south also. In fact, in Karnataka, Goraksha is very, very intense. So, what makes you say that? Next. Has Amir Khan made money by selling the rights of the movies to foreign distributors? That is standard operation. No, yesterday we did that episode with Rajesh ji. Please hear him. Next. Sukrutvi sir, please give insights on aftermath of Battle of Talikota, the socio-political and cultural changes, especially just before advent of European colonization, and Andhra moved to be more Hindu-centric, but Mysore became more secular, etc. We have already done an episode on this because what are you asking? You are asking for details. These are all available in our episode on Vijayanagar with Sandeep Balakrishna. We've done a series actually. Border state, Sandeep Krishna. Border state, Bihar, Gujarat, Assam, Kashmir. Islamic population dynamics has changing. What should be government policy from encroachment? Even if you follow rule of law, you can control it. Next. जेम्स बॉन्ड को कब हटाएंगे रितेश कुमार जी? मोदी जी से पूछिए जी. इसी के साथ जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम. सपोर्ट अस, फॉलो अस, सब्सक्राइब टू अस, and like the video, share the video.